Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Don't mind me just getting the pop-up chat last minute.
Yeah, don't mind excitement in the background. It's better than the tantrums we had earlier. So,
Always a step up. So
Well,
hello,
nice.
welcome. We're glad you were early because I wasn't. Hello, hi. Welcome, everybody, to today's stream. I am going to go post us on Instagram and then poke Jess to post us on the Dubba Dubba Instagram.
and then I'll just what is it called? Duplicate, whatever it's called.
Share?
Share. Yes, that.
Sure.
I swear I'm a writer. I know words. It
It's
takes
okay.
me drafting and then editing and then the fifth edit to actually get the right word that's supposed to be there.
Yes.
Which isn't conducive to speaking because that's what I'm in the moment.
I like to leave parentheses. It's like, future Sam, we meant this. Find the word. Or I will DM one of my critique partners and I'll be like, hey, so I can't remember the word for this thing. And then I'll like describe the definition. And then I'll be like, I got it. Never mind. I'm good. Got my word.
Every time that happens, I'll turn to my husband. I'm like, hey, what is the never mind? He's like, okay.
It's the premise behind why like rubber ducking works. It's because like your subconscious knows, but your conscious doesn't. So the act of having to explain it to somebody else brings the knowledge into the front.
Yeah, and then plus I'm an outward thinker. Like when I'm faced with things, like problems or whatever, talking them out, I come to the solution that I'm supposed to go to versus someone telling me what to do. Usually.
Yeah.
Which makes me go through therapy just fine.
Yeah, same. My therapists are always just fascinated by me. I especially love when they're like, you are so interestingly self-aware.
Yes, I get the same thing. Like I'll spout off whatever it is and I go, well, and then there's this option, but the consequences of that would be this, and then there's that option, which I mean the consequences aren't as bad, but also neither is the option. And then they go, yeah, and they're like, what do you need me for?
Why are you here again?
Yeah, I've had so many times where I like go to therapy, talk through stuff, and by the like after 4 or 5 of them, they go, so I think you're good, you can graduate. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Do you think you need to be here anymore? Like, yes, definitely. I need coping tools. That's what I've come here for.
I need to not want to cry because things didn't go as planned for the 5th time in a row. Like,
I would like to learn techniques that are not grounding because that doesn't work for me.
The response I got when I was talking about like some of the issues I faced, they were like, well, your work isn't suffering. And I was like, I'm trying to prevent my work from suffering. That shouldn't be an indicator of whether I'm doing well or not. Like, I'm telling you, I put off stuff. I still get it due on time, but I could get it done sooner.
I have recently started, I've like looking into and becoming aware that like grounding seems to not work as well for people who are neurodiverse, like with dyslexia or ADHD. I have no medical knowledge or anything backing that. That's just an observation of trends amongst my friends and things I have read. So don't quote me on it, but it makes me feel like it's not just me, because like one of my therapists, I was like, yeah, grounding doesn't work for me. I just can't do that. I'm too disconnected from the anxiety when it happens that like it's a thing in the background. I'm already like grounded. And they're like, well, it just like takes practice and everything. And I'm like, I'm not sure you're feeling me.
The times I went to therapy, it was like, they're like, here's where normal people are with their anxiety, like on an everyday basis, and it may rise and fall, but this is like the normal range. You're up here at all times. I was like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. What do I do with that? And they're like, you're learning coping mechanisms, and it seems like you're doing better. And I'm like, cool, but I can hear my heartbeat when I'm standing
but I don't
room.
Want to be a vampire. Is there a way to avoid that?
Like, come on, help me, help myself. Let's go.
Here's a fun like things that seem so simple and obvious, but like don't connect. And it's like I was talking to my husband about my CPTSD one day, and he said something about my anxiety, and I'm like, I don't have anxiety, I have CPTSD. And he's like, babe, it's a stress disorder, which is an anxiety disorder. And I was like, yes. But it's just like seems so obvious and yet just had not connected. So hello, yes, welcome everyone. The anxiety hour discussion was, I'm sure, not what everyone expected when they walked in here today, but this is what you get because I had a very bad flare-up on Thursday, which triggered my CPTSD, and so here I am, like this, crooked in the bed. We'll fix that at some point, or we won't. I don't know. But how was everybody's weekend? We're gonna wait just a wee little bit before we have everybody introduce themselves.
I'm trying to post this on Instagram, and
it's
like I have to relearn myself, and I'm like, how to post things. Like I've hit post, reel, now I finally hit story.
My gosh, when it's like I click post, it's not just you. Instagram's just stupid. I hit post, right? And then I had to go get the thumbnail for today's thing, and I go back to Instagram, and it's on story. And I'm like, bitch, I didn't leave you here. The fuck? And it did that to me 3 times because I kept forgetting to go get the thumbnail. I'm like, you'll probably stay home when? Okay. The husband was informing me of his work plans for the week. But yes, chat, tell us how your weekend was, because we are all scrambling to post on social media because we're very well put together for organizers of events and stuff. Our ability to prepare is flawless. Flawless, I say.
Listen, we
didn't have months in advance this time round. We only had like a couple of weeks.
Was it a week?
Also,
did I even
the thing is, most people, we see what's wrong, and the people who get like consume the fun stuff, whatever, I don't even know what to call it, they usually don't notice what we notice. Yes, dear.
Normally, yes, but I'm sure they all know us staring down.
Yes.
It's a little more noticeable than usual. This weekend was fine. If you forget, I saw the sunrise this morning before I finally got the. Hey, me too! You're not alone. You can just swipe right from the feed and it will put up the story post. But I don't want story. I just want the regular post. Just the problem, it kept taking me to story. Today was meh. My cat killed a thing and I made progress on my outline for book 2. Yay, hunter cats. Did they bring you the thing?
Yay,
was it a present? And yay, book
it's
progress.
Always a present.
Okay, tag both of y'all if y'all just want to forward that, because I know once you tag people, it's a little easier for them to share the story. Even though I know you were going post, but sorry,
That's fine.
So I have everybody get notifications. I decided to finally expand my horizon and get a website. I've had a domain for a while, but I was like, all right, now's the time to actually like learn how to put it together. And and so
if you have questions, I know things.
I might have questions because like some of the things that I want to do is like embed widgets, like 3 different widget ideas I have. It's like a latest Twitter post, real thing going of mine, latest Instagram post, so that way the updates to those counts as updates on the website. Listen, work smarter.
Yeah, not harder.
And then a like tied to my Ko-fi page widget or whatever. Because right now, when I'm like, hey, here's my social links, Ko-fi just has a little like chain lock symbol, and I'm like, dude, come on, let me get the pretty picture like Instagram and YouTube has for this.
Yes.
Even TikTok had the chain lock thing. And I'm like, come on, TikTok's been around. Why do you not have the symbol for it?
Yeah,
that
that's
the-
weird.
I'm not sure if that counts as a logo or a favicon.
No.
Because your favicon is like in the top bar. I think the lock is the default one on Google Chrome, but like on websites with personalized favicons, it'll like have their logo. Like mine is a fancy S, and it's one of the easiest ways to spot an amateur is if their favicon is not customized.
I don't need to be called out. I mean, I'll announce it quickly. I'll let you know. Like, what's the first rule about a website? I break it.
I was
What
just
web
saying,
provider
so
are you
like,
using?
if Ko-Fi doesn't have a favicon, Ko-Fi, what are you doing now?
Yeah. I ended up going with WordPress. That's what I'm navigating right now. And I feel like because I've already done streamlined stuff in the sense of like banners across all social media when I was playing in Canva for a bit. And so I'm kind of using that to create calendars as well of like, hey, here's when I'm live. I'm just trying to also figure out how I don't want to go into Canva and edit a calendar for every single month.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool if I could just put in data and be like, hey, here's this when I'm live, here's the hyperlink to the channel, like kind of as if it was a Google thing.
There is a way to do it. I just don't know it. But I do know that there is a way, and there is a way in WordPress, because that is actually the next page that Fox will be doing for me, and I am on WordPress as well. So
sweet. Okay, so we'll be talking. I'll be talking to all y'all because the way you're talking about WordPress is kind of like the way I handle Excel. And I think where I know the capability exists, I just don't know how to do it. So I go to the school of Google and YouTube to learn how.
Good school.
And then hopefully I regurgitate the information on the final exam well, and things publish nicely.
From what I know of Fox's recommendations for website builders, the 3 that he is most vocal on is that WordPress is for people who have coding experience or are willing to learn, because WordPress is good for if you want to be able to build things or just like have full control, and like you can still use widgets and templates and stuff, but like it gives you the most ability to do things your way or the highway. Squarespace is good for the general user who just wants a nice professional website without having to learn absolutely everything. And then Wix is hell and Satan, and nobody should ever touch it.
So. I started doing Wix and like using their free options, and I just went. I was a deer in the headlights. I just let the car hit me, and I decided to reincarnate and find another woodland area to go to.
He says it's possible to make things look professional in Wix, but it's just absolutely so difficult, and there's no way to make it truly like interpersonal, because it's so like user handholdy, and like you absolutely have to do things a certain way. Well, I know that I hate endless scrolls.
Yeah, I don't like endless scroll either,
because it hurts my finger on my mouse and it hurts my thumb on my phone, because I'm just like, where is the end? Just give me pages. Just let me know how far down I am. I'm old.
It's nothing more stressful than just being like, where do you end? Where do you stop? How much?
To me, it's like when you're scrolling through Netflix and you're like, I need something to watch. And if you're paired with somebody who doesn't know what they want to watch ever, it
also makes it a lot harder to organize your content that way too.
I realized, I knew that Netflix has like a scroll to the right situation. Or I thought you were showing us something on your phone. A scroll to the right situation. I know Netflix has it in there. I did not know until everybody worked from home situation happened, where there's an end to Netflix at the bottom. I found it. I didn't know. It's like finding the end of the universe. It's supposed to not exist, but apparently it does.
Also, I'll go ahead and have you two introduce yourselves now because it's been roughly 15 minutes. I was just setting up the poll and letting Natalie finish her sentence.
Appreciate it.
So, go for it.
Okay. Natalie Locke, links are down below. You can find me on pretty much just about every platform. How active I am on those platforms is to be determined. I'm most active on Instagram. I do at least TikTok like once a week. I try, and then I might actually get a website where you'll find me more because I'm about to get more active on Twitch as well. So this will be fun. We'll continue forward. But yeah, I am a mom. I'm a full-time employee, and I decided, hey, let's have a passion for writing on top of this. So that's pretty much my spiel of where I just share my experiences and faults and errors, so that you don't have to, so you can learn what not to do through me. You're welcome.
I'm sorry. Hello, I'm Sarah Cahill. Procrastination is my superpower. I post writing vlogs and videos on my YouTube channel and occasionally post to other social medias elsewhere. That's about it. Mum of 4, full-time worker. Hasn't written a decent word in quite a while.
Yeah, you got me beat. I got 2. I think I got the least number of kids out of all of us, right? Not that it's a superpower, because trust me, we're all just as busy. I don't. Wait, how many, Sam?
3.
3. I thought I saw 8, and I'm like,
no, I was like doing like 3 on 2 hands.
Okay.
And then I realized how that could look, and I was like, oh, well,
yeah, I took it there, and it, like so I will admit, when people have more kids than me, it's not a judgment; it's a shock and awe. Okay, and I end up in awe of you when people have more than I.
A fun thing is they say that 3 is the hardest number of kids to have because they're like at 1 you've got like things going, or you've got like everything under control, and you think you know what you're doing and you're good even when you mess up. 2, kind of stressful, but you're still confident that you can handle this, you can do a good job. 3, you don't know how you're going to make it through the end of the day, but damn it, you still want to do a good job and be a good parent, and you will succeed. 4, you've just given up, you don't care anymore, let them just maybe
once you're outnumbered,
maybe they'll survive traffic, maybe they won't, who knows. But I was like, that can't be a thing. But like studies have been done, that's actually like where the mentality drops off, that like
my oldest sister has 4, and like she just is done a lot, but her kids are all older than my oldest, so
that's
I've gotten to the point where there's a very specific scream the kids will make where I know that they're really hurt or upset.
Yeah, that's
any other scream is just like, for God's sake, just.
I grew up the oldest,
and it just flies right over my head.
I grew up the oldest in a big family. Like the next oldest one is 4 years younger than me. So like by the time I had my first kid, I was already the parent in the memes that it's like, you know, it's like first time mom. I was never. I could never relate to that side of the meme. But the other side, that was always me. It's like, did you break anything? No, go on. Wipe it off. You're good.
Yep.
And I am writing mom Samantha Ilnacid. I help run this wonderful channel, the WWW, but on my channel, I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer-parent things. I die and struggle to communicate frequently. On my channel on Mondays, I host live streams very much like this, where we sprint and we chat, or sometimes talk about whatever I want to talk about, like The Mummy, the 1999 movie, which we will be talking about at the end of the month. And sometimes I host parties once a quarter. I've got chronic illness stuff, which is a lot. I have videos on it, and I talk about it a lot, which I've already done today. If you would like to read a sample of my writing so that you know that I do, in fact, know what the fuck I'm talking about when I talk about writing advice, you can check out my website, samanthailnasset.com, where I have my spooky flash fiction up. You can also sign up to my newsletter there to stay up to date with all things Sam, and sometimes things WWW related, because we're not starting a newsletter for it. I'm sorry, just not happening. And if you would like to help support this channel or any of the channels here, you can like, subscribe, ring-a-ding the bells, and check out all of our links, which are down below. Also, great, amazing, important announcement. We have a community tab.
Woo!
Yay.
I will, Fox. I'm getting to that. Fox is here yelling at me to do things already. But yes, we have a community tab now. We got it, and then YouTube waited 9 days. We got 500 subs, and then YouTube waited like 8 or 9 days to actually give me my tab.
Yeah.
The motherfucker. But
They
we
wanted
have
to
it
make
now.
sure you knew the responsibility.
I was like, just let me spam people. No, I'm kidding. I wanted to announce that we have, which I did announce, you can check out the details in the community tab. I meant to post it in this description. If I didn't, I will do so during the first sprint. But we are taking applications for monitors for the next round of the Worldwide Writeathon, which both Natalie and Sarah are our wonderful moderators on our moderator team for the WWW. I'm recovering from a migraine flare-up. My communication of subpar for me. So
We still
Jimmy,
understand you. You're doing good.
thank
We
you.
understand, yes.
Yeah.
But yes, so if anybody has any questions about being moderators or anything, you can feel free to ask. They have agreed to share like their experience and everything, and I can answer to the best of my ability on the organizer side. My family always says once you've got 3 kids, what are a few more? Meaning once there's 3 kids in any situation, just invite all the rest. How much worse could it be? Honestly, after 3, they like pair off. So my sister, whenever she like brings my niece places, it's great because I'm just like, yes, go forth, be gone, children.
I will
you.
say, for anybody who's questioning whether to do a monitor or not, because you're like, oh, I don't want to like tell people what to do. The thing is, everyone who signed up to run a sprint, whether it's social or productivity, they're on the same page. They want to fulfill all the requirements, the minutes and everything. So they are looking to you for guidance. You're not like telling them what to do. They know what they signed up for. So if anybody feels like, oh, it's confrontational, no, it's not. They know what they signed up for. They want to do it.
Also,
Yeah, most of the time it was like, you've got this amount of time left to get this amount of sprint done.
Yeah, and normally people appreciate the reminders too, because what I've noticed a lot is like host will be like, oh, how much have we sprinted? Have we met the minimum? And then you're like, well, you've sprinted this much already. And they're like, oh, okay, good. There's like this relief that washes over them.
Like I felt weird calling them out in their own chat, but then I was doing Instagram like private messaging and they weren't paying attention to that either. So I almost screwed them over by not letting them know early enough. So my point is, they want it. Don't be like me. Again, see, this is what I'm talking about. I'm making the mistakes for you to learn from them. You don't have to worry about it.
It's also okay. We don't expect everybody to be perfect, and it's a you two are our first monitors too, and so like y'all
so we set the bar here. Everyone else, you can exceed it. You're welcome.
Yes. Oh.
Sarah, I believe it was you in your vlog. You were actually late to one of yours because of a time.
Oh my god! Stupid time.
I didn't have a vlog, so no one knows. Actually, no.
So
all right, I'm like, share your story, please.
I thought initially, because obviously I'm in the UK, so we are 5 hours ahead of EST at any normal standard time.
I think we're 6 hours currently, Sarah.
No, because we had the time difference again, so it's now 5. So I had it was Shay's stream at 1 a.m. EST, and I'm like, oh, 5 hours ahead. That's 6 a.m. That's fine. I can do that. At midnight, I double checked. I'm so glad I double checked. Like, let me just double check. It actually starts at 6 a.m. And on YouTube, it said 5 a.m. And I was just like, what? Excuse me. US had their daylight savings. Our daylight savings comes a week later. So we were only 4 hours ahead and not 5 hours ahead. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
You can't make this
so
up.
they're like hopefully trying to get my alarm set to get like barely 5 hours sleep to get up. But yeah, I missed my first alarm. Got up
They
at
might be
5:15,
getting rid
like,
of that next year, so
Oh,
we
I
may
hope they
not.
do.
I heard the bill stopped though.
It's
I
because
haven't looked it up for myself though. I'll be
it's like
honest.
a unit. It's like a unanimous decision that we're going to get rid of the time change. They're just fighting over which one to keep. Right? They're like, is it better if we have more daylight, or is it better if we have less daylight? And I'm like, y'all know you're not actually changing the sun's rotation, right? Like that's not what we're
Despite what you think, you don't have that power. My thing is that no matter where you change the time, you're going to have more daylight in one area of 6 months, and then you're going to have more daylight in another 6 months. It's just whether you want it in the fall or in the spring.
Yeah,
where you prefer the more daylight.
They put up maps and stuff where it's like, if we did it this way, then there would be more daylight in like these areas, and if we did it this way, there would be more daylight in these areas. And I'm like, how are you classifying more day? The sun is going to stay out the same amount regardless of what time my clock says. So I'm like, I don't know how they're coming up with these, like, I think it's like during like shopping hours or whatever. I'm like, I like the summer hours. I want to keep the summer hours for a very selfish, very self-centered, short person reason. In the winter, the sun is here. When I'm driving my kids to school in the morning, the sun is here. When I go to pick them up in the afternoon, I'm sitting in the parking lot. The sunlight is bouncing off the cars in front of me. But then, like, during the spring hours, it doesn't. It's wonderful. I can drive without being blinded. That's why I want summer hours.
Yeah, exactly. There's that level. Sarah, since you shared your here's how I screwed up during the worldwide write-a-thon. I have to like mentally say it in my head before I speak it.
I just say the dubba, if that makes sense.
There we go. But the what I ended up doing is, because we were traveling, like we were driving all day Saturday, and then Sunday I was flying. So I really like hit and miss with people. So everyone that I was monitoring on Saturday, I'm in the car using my phone for the chat because it's signed into my YouTube account, but my music, because it's safer than my husband's, was playing through the car. And then to hear the sprints going on, I had to use my husband's phone to connect, but it was connected to his YouTube account. There were so many times where I used his YouTube account to comment, to type in or make, and I'm like, no, because I try to keep my lives. I mean, yeah, if you dug, it's easy to find out what I do for a living, who I'm married to, who's my family or whatever. Like it's not hidden behind a veil or whatever. I'm not the Wizard of Oz. But I do try to not make it as obvious. And there was just so many times where I'm like, you got 20 minutes left. Oh, shit. And then jump over to my actual account and type it in. So I added myself a few times.
I have a personal YouTube where it has my married name. And I use that one. I've got a playlist for the kids for songs in the morning to like go to school and come back and stuff. And I used it on accident one day because I like just had an early morning stream or something, and I forgot to switch over to me. And so I typed there. It just was like, Samantha, you are on your wrong account. And I'm like, lady.
Way to call me out.
Why you gotta call me out like that? People could have just been like, who's that bitch?
That's what I was secretly
like, my
hoping.
pictures aren't the same. It's fine.
But the thing is, my husband's icon is all myself, him, and our daughter, because we hadn't had our son yet in the photo. And I'm just like,
it's outdated. Yeah. No one will recognize you. It's fine.
Hopefully not. Hopefully, actually, I look exactly like I did about 10 years ago.
Oh, well then.
Wishful thinking, I know.
I'm adding the monitor form. Yep. Monitor application form to the description for the video. I already added it in chat for anybody who wants to apply. Also, if you applied the first time, but we're not selected for a monitor. Please do apply again. We had one applicant who applied, and then we realized there was not a spot for name or way to contact, so we have no idea who you are. Just that you wish to monitor for the Dubba Dubba. So yes. Please do reapply. We need people. We will be selecting 2 more for June. I think we don't have like an end number yet, but we want to add like 2-3 per event so that we can slowly build up, especially since like these two can contest. Jess and I are large practitioners of trial by fire and just keep throwing things at a wall until something sticks. Like I was like, hey guys, look at the monitor schedule. 2 like minutes later, hold on, I updated it again. Wait, I'm still finessing. Okay, I think I'm not touching it again.
And
I
then
lied, but also here we go.
Discord is only on my laptop, and so I was working from cell phones the whole time. I didn't even know about the spreadsheet where we were putting in the sprint times until like the end.
Oh, that's fine.
So someone threw in the numbers for me for the ones that I was in charge of anyways. Appreciate it.
The spreadsheet is more Jess and I are like, if you want to like do that for us, feel free. But either way, we're going to do that at some point. So it's just nice that we didn't have to do all of them. Because like I explained to these two, I forgot when, but at some point in the Discord, I was like, hey, just so you know, like even before the event starts, just having you two here and knowing that like somebody is going to be around to help even when we're sleeping is already a huge help. Like before anything, because this is all stuff that Jess and I would try to do like on our own anyway. So having even a little bit of help, it's like that's less that we have to do.
I just can't imagine like for you two to have been covering like every single stream as the write-a-thon got longer and longer and longer and longer. I was like, how are they doing this?
And then dual streams.
How do they have the mental capability to sit there at their computer?
I am very good at
6 hours and just.
I'm really good at mass micromanaging, and Jess is really good at like big creative ideas and stuff. So it's basically like she'll have big creative ideas, and I'm like, okay, this is how we can break that down and make it manageable. So like we're essentially a dream team, and it's great. And now we just need like to build our team out so that we're not doing everything alone. The bill is for the US. Yes. However, the thing is like with Sarah, she had to deal with our time switching and her time switching and that not matching up. So I'm saying that with the US is gone, it will be easier to deal with because then you're not dealing with 2 international daylight savings, because I know that the UK is not the only one that has daylight savings that like.
Yeah, I know Germany has it as well. I'm trying to think of the other countries that have it, but yeah, there's a few.
And there was one year when like the Dubba Dubba was on daylight savings. I think that was last year because we fucked up and we vowed to never do that again.
October last year, yes.
I have another account, but it's just Haley Marshall with my old profile. It only exists because I wanted to change my username. Excuse me, that's fair. Until last October when everything fell apart. It was look, last October fell apart because we decided to have lives during the Dubba Dubba, and that didn't work for us. You went on a writer retreat. I got a tattoo. I don't regret my tattoo, though. It's very pretty. All right, we should go into our first live stream. I mean, writing sprint. Mm-hmm. We're in the live stream.
Check. Done. First one.
Live stream done. Now we're going to the second one. Here we go. No, I don't have a 35-minute my face timer. I will have to rectify this situation. Not today, but someday. So instead, we're going to do this one.
Ooh, pretty. When's that from?
That's pretty.
Come on.
I don't know. I just looked up 35-minute timers and Nat days, apparently.
Oh, it's like Natalie. I'll take it.
It works. This is close enough.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
All right.
Do you know if this one has music or not?
It doesn't matter. I mute it because I listen to my own music.
Valid. Wait,
Yes.
lyrics or no lyrics?
Lyrics.
Nice.
Okay, I actually if there's no lyrics, it's too much like white noise, and then I like zone out and I don't do anything. So I am one of 3 people I have met who needs lyrical music to focus on writing or whatever we're doing. Most people, the lyrics distract them.
I don't need lyrics,
I
but I
used to
don't
be like
oppose
that.
them. I jump around and I'm like, it's whatever I'm in the mood for. Really.
Yeah, depends how I'm feeling. Sometimes I need white noise or just music. If I've got a specific playlist for a specific project, then I can listen to that playlist with lyrics while I'm writing that story. It just depends what headspace I'm in and what I need to be able to focus on the words.
I was going to be like, it's mom brain. We've been trained by the children. But then Katrina said, I need lyrics too. And to my knowledge, she doesn't have kids. So my theory's thrown
But
out
is
the
she
window.
is she the oldest sibling?
Katrina, are you an oldest sibling? We have running theories. All right, let's
Yes.
count down and we'll come back to that question. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're back. I was like trying to type be back soon, sprint ended, and my autocorrect was like best sprint. And I'm like, bitch, no, let me write be back soon. I have to type a thing. But how did everybody do that sprint?
Ate dinner, cleaned up dinner, realized the whole calendar thing that I created on Shiza, what is it called? Or Canva. Mute point. Apparently, I'm watching a video now. I could create an iCalendar thing that would have all my live streams and stuff, and that would be updated. And then there's a widget on WordPress that will show the latest next 3, next 6.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, now I find it when I've spent all day.
Well, better now than never.
Yeah. The other things I could use the other one for you like Instagram. Like, hey, look, it's pretty.
Yeah.
But that's what I did. Like self-care, eating, and
Research.
management of self.
Research.
Chat, let us know both what you were working on and how you did that sprint. And Sarah, go ahead while I set a small timer.
I did Camp NaNoWriMo stuff because I haven't done anything today because I knew that I would be on stream, so I could do some work then. 977 words.
Nice.
Which sound crap, but I've written 977 words. So that is a win for me because it is the most I have written in a sprint since the beginning of February. So yay for that.
A neighbor or someone is home, and my dog thinks
Thank
it's her
you.
job to greet the whole neighborhood. I like lyrics just because it gives me more focus. It keeps me focused a little more. I'll learn to read. It's fine. Nope, I can only deal with the noise from my kids. That's fair. Haley said, wait, I'm an oldest sibling. Sam, your theory might be true. Technically, it was Natalie's theory.
Which is funny because I'm the youngest, but I didn't need monitoring growing up. My older sister showed me what not to do, and then I was the good kid.
My brother's autistic, so my mom calls me the oldest and the youngest sibling, but I was born after him. That's fair. Hello. Hopping in late, but need to make dinner. Get all the food, all the nourishment. Yes, you already stalked our websites. Nabby! I will toss this pillow at you. Get away from my window.
Yeah, that's what I also did during the sprint. I forgot. Research, as you put it.
Yes.
I called it stalking.
I mean, same thing. That's part of research, really. Like when Fox was doing had me fill out the thing, because he had me fill out like basically a survey thing before he started working on my website, and one of the things was to find like 3 authors whose websites that I liked and to like note what I liked about them, and then like 3 authors whose websites I didn't like and to figure out things that I didn't like about them. Because one of the things when you're building your own website is to consciously figure out what you do and don't like about sites in your same field, so you can kind of save yourself from falling into some of the do's and don'ts. Which, by the way, everybody, right now, this is my personal request as a reader who goes to author websites. If you write series or standalones, clearly have this cited somewhere on your website. I don't like having to go to Wikipedia to figure out if an author has written a book in a series and which book it is.
Yeah, and when the series, if it plans to be a series, let it be known that this is book 1 for the series. And then when more than one book is out, label them. Someone was complaining, I'll use my planner for this, but how sometimes it won't be listed on the spine And
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you expect me? I can't go to the like table of contents every single time I want to read a book, or heaven forbid, I'm reorganizing.
It used to be that you could just like, I'm also using my planner. You could like go and right here, it would be like such and such book series and then have the book series or the books in the series listed. So like even if it wasn't on the spine, it wasn't that much work to figure it out. But now it's like I have to hunt a needle in a fucking haystack to figure it out. And I'm
Yeah,
like, for
Where's
why?
Waldo did not
Why?
prepare me for this.
It's
Okay.
like it's like why? We had such a good system and now it's gone. I really need to update my site. Yeah, only mods can post links in chat. But if you DM me the links, I'll post them. No, takesies backsies. I already saw it. Woo, I just finished plotting. I never finish plotting on time, and then I just say I'll get to it later. Of course, I never do. Always backfires later. Not this time, one step at a time. Time right. Woohoo, glad you finished plotting. Hello and welcome. I 100% spent that sprint watching some classes on how to figure out WordPress.
Yes.
Everybody, all the research. 131 words. I'm line editing, so I'm totally fine with that. That's good. Leave the neighbors alone. They don't need your personal greeting. I don't even think they can hear you. Ooh, laundry. I need to fold laundry. I actually think my dog knocked my laundry basket over and then pushed the basket back up. But now there's a weird pile of clothes just on my floor next to the basket. And I'm like, for why? Why would you do these things?
Floor clothes.
Woohoo, outline. I updated my Clever Fox planner for today, and now I was working on doing the self-care journal thing, which I should probably do these things in the actual evening/morning when you're supposed to, but meh.
Yeah.
I do what I want when I want, where I want.
Do it when you remember.
Yes. Also, I had lost my blue pen at some point. So, like, if you go back during the sprint, you can see there's a point where I just, like, move the laptop and I'm throwing everything around and just like, where? I found it. It was under my butt. Which I had thought I looked there.
Movie.
I was like, God, where? Am I sitting on it? I thought I looked there like 3 times, but no. No, did not.
Yeah, when a pen disappears, it disappears.
666.
So many times I've put it down next to me and I go back to get it and I'm like, where have you gone?
Where'd you go?
I don't understand how it happens.
I can't like put pens right here anymore because they will always just end up back in my ponytail. And then I like go to lay back on them and then it stabs the back of my head and I'm like, ow, that was rude. Like, why? Like, what happened there? For why? 666 is a good word count, Grayson. I like
the word count.
Spooky word count. That reminds me, one of my favorite anthologies of short stories is called 666, the number of the beast. But like whenever I try to look up stuff for it, I always have to type 666, the number of the beast story anthology, because otherwise it never pops up first. What, baby? You think you have a fever? I don't think you have a fever. Do you want a peppermint? You can have a peppermint. I have a bag of peppermints because I was having some stomach issues a couple weeks ago, and they helped. Well, my daughter really wanted the peppermints, and we explained to her that they were for a sore stomach. So now every time she wants a peppermint, she has a new ailment. Yes, you can have a chocolate. She's getting a peppermint and a chocolate. Quite spoiled.
Yeah, kids are very clever and sneaky that way, aren't they?
What is because of Iron Maiden trying to find 666, the number of the beast? No, it's just because it's a very prevalent thing in lore and mythology, and a lot of people reference it. Parenting, it's a fun time. So, how is everybody's nano who is doing nano?
Yeah.
I-
And what
I
made
do
you
not
do
do it.
you know? Like, what's your level? Because I know people can vary it. 'Cause I might do nano July. It's July, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the months
Might do it
after
then.
Dubba Dubba.
Yeah, and I already saved that teaser, the June.
Yes.
Pretty good use of yes.
No, so I think my kid has discovered that I have a thing with supernatural stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a little in his room, it's that little roof attic access thing, but it's not like one where you drop down a ladder or anything. It's just like the little pop out in the ceiling. I've come into his room like in the past week twice, and he's going, not like, and pointing directly to that, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm not in the mood to like cleanse the area or anything mentally. I'm done.
My youngest will try to outlast me at bedtime, because if I'm having like a particularly bad flare up or something and I have to handle the kids' bedtime, sometimes I used to just be like, okay, just come downstairs with me. But like now they've got this very comfortable futon bunk bed. So I'm like, nah, I can lay here forever, child. I've got endless amount of comics. Let's go. So she can't outlast me anymore.
Flamethrower. Not bad, but I'm not in a position to use it effectively at the moment.
Haley said, I'm just using NaNoWriMo as a way to catch up on writer stuff. Fair.
Damn
In
it.
terms of being very productive, but I am very behind schedule.
Oh, I had it.
I signed up on the Nano site, but I'm just not feeling it this time around. It's fair. Quickly, somebody send Nat some gargoyles. Yes. I'm still on my Nano hiatus. That's fair.
Could have been worse.
I don't participate in Nano. 2 out of 3 of their months are a personal attack on my life in a large family. So it's holiday months. But yeah, I also there's at least when I tried to participate in it 8-9 years ago, the forums had a lot of, in my opinion, toxic and unhealthy advice and stuff that went around and mindsets with it. And so in order to not start fights with lots of people online, I just decided to out of there. But I see, like, in several of the writing groups I'm in, a lot of people either they're just like, yeah, no, I don't really do nano. They're there for like the community. And then a couple people I've seen recently who were like, you know what? I don't want to participate in nano this way anymore because I don't think it's good for my writing. And I'm like, good for you. I like sleep.
People are starting to be more self-aware and less comparing to other people.
I think I might have said it in my Monday live last week, but one of my things is if you're going into nano as an experienced writer, because I don't think nano is bad per se. I think it can be good. And like one of my favorite books was actually written by an author who had a writer's block and decided to participate in nano and was able to get a messy first draft out and then went back and fixed it. So I think it can be useful, but I think it's more like a tool for experienced writers who know their limits, they know their boundaries, they know their bad habits and everything. I don't necessarily think it's the best for new writers who are still trying to learn all of that and are very easily influenced by the word count frenzy of it all. So,
yeah. I always think that if you're new to NaNoWriMo, it's best to start with the Camp NaNoWriMo, because then you can set your own goal and you can set your goal to either what you know you're able to write at that moment in a month, or slightly higher to give yourself a bit of a challenge. And then once you've gotten used to the whole daily word counts, updating everything, and then making sure that you can manage that and your self-care and your life,
Yes.
then move on
especially.
to trying out an actual NaNoWriMo with the 50,000 words.
But here's
Does-
the thing: life evolves, and so sometimes you may need to change your
Yeah.
distribution.
That's one of the things. You need to be comfortable with like changing and moving the goal line. Like that was one of the things with the Dubba Dubba vlogs this time around. I've seen all of them that I am aware of that are on the playlist. And one of, I think, the consistent comments I kept making was just like, I'm very happy that you moved your goalpost, or that you were comfortable with changing what you wanted to do based on your limits. Cause that's such a big and important step for people. And it's like, I am not necessarily the best example for things for like several reasons. Like one of my last bingo square had been write 500 words in one sprint. And a lot of people were like, oh, well, maybe there will be another 45-minute sprint. And I'm like, no, I only need 20. I could feel the disbelief from some people. But I was like, nah, I'm doing it in 20. Watch me. And I did. I did it. I did 526 words, I think, in almost 20 minutes on the dot.
Yeah, it was. I had a 40-minute sprint at like 22 minutes time elapsed. You came in, and I was like,
Jesus.
man.
And I was just like, I'm like, yeah, I'm done now, because that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted that bingo square. But like, and that from the outside, I realized later could be seen as like, oh yeah, I like got 526 words, but how many of those words are usable? Almost all of them, really. That's a pretty good scene. It's in my like Mila note for that story.
Yeah.
And I mean, it'll need a little bit of self-editing because what first draft doesn't, but they're really good words. I like how the scene went. There's a couple lines of dialogue that could be better, but that's not a first draft thing to focus on for me. But I have been trying to seriously write since I was 12. I will be 32 this year. So I've got like 20 years under my belt. I know my limits. I knew how long I would need, and I knew what scene I wanted to focus on. And like I pantsed that whole thing. And I am a staunch outliner. I outline like everything, but there's just certain things I'm like, yeah, I know how I want this to go. I'll knock this out right here and then. Chronic illness kicks my ass so hard, and I fucking hate it. That's one of the biggest reasons I hate it, because I'm like, without my chronic illness, I would be a rapid release author and do it well. But I think that sometimes like there's a lot of that kind of confidence and attitude in NaNoWriMo, but then people are like, oh man, my words were like so trash, or I have to. So like instead of having 526 words, they have more like 200. And then they get really discouraged during like the editing and stuff. And I'm like, I feel my heart goes out to them, and I'm like, I want to help everybody, but we cannot.
Yeah. I think that's one of the first things you need to learn as a writer anyway, I think, is that people sometimes will go into writing and think they can write a very good first draft. And then they don't realize that actually, no, your first draft is probably going to be mostly unusable, or mostly will have to be changed or cut, and it's not going to sound good at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of people who have gotten discouraged after writing, and sort of when they are comparing themselves to other people, discouraged that they're not as good as they think they are. They can't quite get what they think is good in their heads to match what they write on paper.
And it's like
It's
that.
the first thing you got. I think every writer needs to learn. Your words are not going to be perfect, so don't try to make them perfect
Yes.
the first go round.
I'm technically on schedule for Nano, but I feel like I'm behind. Do you any idea why you feel like you're behind? I use Nano as a last push for the year. I suffer really bad from seasonal depression, and trying to take on extra tasks on top of regular life on a regular job is impossible. I don't write in winter. I mean, that's fair. That's like your last hurrah before you're like,
Yeah.
and I'm done for the year. Which I think, like I said, I think it can be a really good tool as long as you know how to use the tool. I feel you on that, Sam, because I have good days and then bam, my chronic illness kicks in. Right? And it's like that not comparing yourself to other people too is hard when you have a chronic illness that like keeps you back, and you're like people that you started outlining at the same time they started outlining, and then now they are debuting and you're like still outlining or drafting, and you're like, I shouldn't compare, but also emotion's gonna emotion.
Yes.
What is a SSW student? One of my classes was pretty much about helping us prevent burnout, and I love that there is a class on that and everybody needs it.
Yes.
And I've been trying to incorporate that in my writing. I guess I feel like I'm behind because I know what's coming for me later this month. That
Yeah.
I can relate to. I'm like, oh, I have to get all of these things done.
I think one of the biggest things that I learned
Social
is
service work. Okay.
managing expectations. Because yes, if you have a goal and in mind, everyone should have goals that they're working towards. I believe that makes you feel like you're bettering yourself, and I feel like we thrive off growth and such. But the issue is that if you're setting a goal but then giving yourself the time frame of like 2 days when it normally would take 4, like, and for me, my thing, when I set goals, I take the time that I think how long it will take, and then I triple that time, and that's my deadline. That's the only way that I've been able to like stay semi-sane is if I have the deadline, just giving myself so much of a cushion. Otherwise, my mental health would just go out. I would feel like a failure, and mentally, we reach our goals just as much as we are actively working on them.
See, I'm the complete opposite, because if I want to set myself a goal or a deadline and I set it to so far ahead in the future, I will not start it until the last possible moment, because I'm thinking, oh, I have all the time in the world to get this done. So coming from someone who does stupid, insane, really short, large word count, short deadline stuff in the past, it's my mentality just can't have a really long deadline, because I'm too used to procrastinating and getting it done last minute.
But you're self-aware enough that when I give advice of like, hey, here's an option, your advice is, hey, here's another option, because you and I are two different people. And I think more people need to just soak in all the information and figure out what works for them. Try different.
Yeah, it's about knowing your own limits and what's going to work for you. Your mileage may vary is one of my favorite sayings. It's actually a like trope thing from TV tropes, and it's basically like this trope might be super accurate or like it might feel super realistic or feel like the farthest thing from realistic, depending on your own life experience and like the lens you're looking at it through. So I love the your mileage may vary thing. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Speaking of deadlines, I'm going to plan my week during next sprint. Awesome. All right, this is going to be our last sprint. I know we didn't get a lot of sprinting done today, but that was in part just because we like talking and socializing. And you know, sometimes it's just how it is.
I'm starved for human contact from someone I'm not married to or produced.
We are moms. We need it sometimes. It's fine.
Yeah. Like, speaking of, yes, sweetie, what do you need?
Right, mine was just in here offering me a peppermint.
I'll play Mario Kart right now. No, after Dad's got to finish the Masters first. We're sharing the TV.
Luckily, my kids are all in bed right now, so
you don't need to rub it in.
Seriously cheating.
That's the one good thing about being 5 hours ahead. Every time I stream or on a stream, it's always when the kids are in bed.
This is why
one of them will always start crying midway through the stream.
She was like, when are my kids going to be asleep? This time, Sam. And I'm like, shit.
This time is the only time I can do.
I'm liking what Chad's saying. Like, speaking of, hold on, and everything. Yes. Luckily it stopped snowing. It actually didn't stick yesterday. Yesterday. Yeah. It was 60s today. Either way.
I promise I was checking something and I'm trying to remember what it
timer?
was. No, it was something else. Okay, I remember what it was. I can move on with my day. Sorry, sometimes I like get stuck in a hyper focus mode where it's like I have to do the thing I was gonna do, or I'm not gonna be able to do anything else at all. 20 minutes has won, and there's a 20-minute timer of my face, so I'm going to do that one because I didn't get to do my face earlier.
Okay, well, yeah, I should be, to be fair as well. I've got the kids tomorrow. Sarah's at work early, so I'll be up at like 6. Yeah. How was your conversation with Adam yesterday after I left?
A muggy 85 here today. Gotta love Texas. I don't even know what it is. Spring came, and then it was like, you know what? Lovely spring weather. But also, how about we make it cold and rainy for a little while? And I'm like,
This is the first time it has snowed after my birthday in my life where I live.
oh my gosh. So one year it was like beautiful spring weather, very nice, very warm, shorts and tank tops. And then it was Easter weekend and we were going to have an egg hunt outside and we got fucking 2 inches of snow. And then it was gone by the next day. And it was like, for why? Why did old man winter just stop by for Easter and then fucked off? It's the weirdest shit.
A couple of weeks ago in the UK, it snowed on and off the entire day. So we'd have 20 minutes of snow and then an hour of bright sunshine and then another like 2 hours of snow and then bright sunshine. And it was like, what?
I just
What is
imagine
what
like
is the weather that is happening right now?
yeah, like Jack Frost is fighting with the
weird.
Easter Bunny, and they're fighting with like that's what my imagination goes with. Like
Like the
take that movie.
Guardians are
Yeah.
fighting something.
It's like the
That's
Rise of
is that the
Guardians
Guardians
Civil
are getting
War or
snarky
something
with
like
each
that.
other.
The Hugh Jackman Easter Bunny has angered.
That was
Jack
great.
Frost. I love
love
that.
that
I love that movie. I loved all their interpretations of it.
Yeah.
Santa with tattoos is my man's.
Loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever, right before we go in the sprint, I promise we're gonna go into the sprint, everybody. But have you ever had it to where in your front yard it was sunny and your backyard it was hailing, or vice versa?
No.
Because that has
No.
happened. That happens far too common here. It's like it's common enough that it's a thing that we're just like, yeah, yep.
It's accepted.
So,
Part of the physics of the world you live in.
yes,
Yeah.
my small weird town. All right, so let's count it down. See, Katrina, where do you live? Do you live in Tennessee? I need to know if it's just Tennessee or if it's that enthusiasm right there. All right, but I will count us down. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're back. We'll go ahead and see how everybody did that sprint, and then we'll start wrapping up.
I've been researching stuff, things, and places, and I feel like I've got no headway. I know about as much as I did before this sprint started.
Katrina lives in Canada, so very not anywhere near Tennessee. Devin is also in Canada. Then said I couldn't be his real mom because he's much older than me. And I'm like, excuse, I'm an ancient immortal of mysterious and unknown origins. This incarnation is young, but I am timeless. Which I guess Adam didn't know this because...
Now Adam knows.
Yes, now he knows. I'm primordial. I worked on planning my weekend, pet a cat. Nice. 391 words. Woohoo! I updated more of my planner stuff, and then I like flipped the page to fill out my to-do list for today, and it was like weekly exercise, and I'm like, excuse you, what do you mean a weekly thing? Which I should have figured out because of the Clever Fox planner, and that's what they do. They do weekly overviews and monthly overviews, but for some reason I was still surprised. I've only been using you for 2 years. To be fair, the self-care journal is new and something that I decided to try out because I was like, I need something a little more like health oriented, and they have a health planner which is directed toward like people with chronic illness and stuff, and I was like, oh, that might look fun. But then they're like, this self-care journal is new and discounted right now, and I was like, but this looks more fun because
discount.
And also my physical chronic illness is comorbid with my mental chronic illness, so I've been enjoying it so far for the week that I've used it. 412 words.
Has it been easy to fill out? Or is it very sort of self-reflecting questions that you have to answer?
So, like, the first day, there's, like, today's main goal, self-care act for the day. I'm grateful for today. My affirmation is, and then a spot for schedule, a to-do list, and then a little bullet area. And that's like what you do in the morning. And then the evening part is like sleep hours, screen time, vitamins, which as you can see here, I just say fuck that. And it's just, hold on, very just, who needs that part? I don't care. I live rule free. We can, but then it's like how,
like some days it's 0 screen time, other days it's this is my time, don't question me.
I'm like, you don't need to know. I don't need to know. I'm not keeping track. But then there's the how I felt today during the evening reflection is consistent. And like the first day, it was like describe like what 8 words describe your life. And so I did a like word association, first 8 words that came to mind for describing my life. It's like what's easy for you but challenging for others, and then I'm looking forward to. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's a thing. And the next day, it was like how I felt today. What things did I particularly enjoy as a kid and why? And I was like, you didn't say the assignment would change. What do you mean these are new questions? So then it's like the how I felt today and the I'm looking forward to are consistent, but then the like self-reflecting questions change. And so it's I enjoy it because I enjoy introspection and looking at that. And at the beginning of the journal, there's like 2 pages of self-care ideas. It just like throws out things that may or may not work for you. And then it's like what is the vision for the life I want? And you can fill that out. And then it's like, what is my life's purpose, which I crossed out and said overrated because I hate that mentality. But then it asked, what's my mission? And I can get behind that. So I filled that out. And then what prevents me from living life to the fullest? How can I resolve this? And then there's what fills me with joy and what drains me. And then for that, it's like emotional. spiritual, physical, family, social, personal development, financial, and environmental. And I like that it separates all of those, because those are all very different things, and that you can look at what fills you with joy and what drains you, because a lot of things don't focus on the drains you part, and that is very important. And then life.
I was going to say, a lot of things do focus. It's like, what is making you better? What's making you happy? And to me, if you don't acknowledge the bad that you're experiencing, how else are you going to fix it? Like, not talking about it is not fixing it.
Yeah.
Just like when people set like goals for themselves to be better, if you're not addressing things that aren't good habits, you're not going to
or
Mm.
and also things that are might be outside of your control, but are also still like draining and keeping you from things like that. So like, I didn't write it in here, but like one example would be like what drains me: having to interrupt my day to go sit in a school parking lot 30 minutes early, because what the fuck are the other parents doing? Do they not have lives? Why am I doing this? So that I'm not like at the outside the parking lot in line. I know I add to the problem, but damn it, I add to the problem because I get there 30 minutes early and I'm still 2/3 back in the line. I'm not going earlier. They can't make me. Then there's the life balance section, where it's like, what areas are you happy with? What areas are lacking and why? I still need to do the my goals section, just because I haven't had time to sit down and do the my goals section. And I will probably not use this, but it's vision board. I'm not like super visual. I think because I have aphantasia. So since I don't visualize things in my mind, it's not super helpful for me. I perceive that this
vision board, but with words instead of pictures.
No, I'll probably just draw a bunch of eyes and wings on it when I'm bored, to be honest. Maybe some spider webs. It's gonna look Sam's Notebook circa 2010s.
No, I was gonna say, remember
it's not a vision
essays?
board, it's a doodle board.
Those special essays where it was like 3 lines and
3 lines.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Let's bring back the 90s.
I have a theory about that, because one of Loki's symbols is an S that's in a diamond shaped. And I was like, but what if Loki was just fucking, because nobody knows the origin of that. There's like a lot of theories, but nobody knows why it was so prevalent so far to draw those S's in that exact order.
Yeah.
And like I realized, like I was talking to my husband because I'm getting Loki's symbol on my calf, and we were talking about different ways to combine things, and he was saying that like I forgot why, but something about putting it in a circle. And I was like, well, that might work for you, but for the tattoo you want to get, but not me, because like Loki's more diamond shaped. Like his S is a diamond. And then I was like, wait a second. A diamond S. That's the 20s. There's the 2010s. But yeah, then there's the bucket list, which I haven't filled out yet. And the self-care acts I want to do every day, every week, every month, every year. And the monthly review. So I still have to fill out the goals, and the bucket list and stuff. But I've been really enjoying it. And it also comes with, as all Clever Fox planners do, the How It Works little packet, which gives you examples of how to fill out each section. And I appreciate that. And stickers.
Yes, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, because when it was like, what was one that I was like, how the fuck do I even fill that out? Oh, personal development. It was like, what fills me with joy? And I'm like, the fuck do I put here? And the example is finding new things I want to know more about, learning constantly. And I'm like, oh, wait, is this me? And then this is what drains me, feeling like I should only learn practical things. And I'm like, it is not me. But the example still like helped.
Yeah.
Hi, Haley. Same. But so I got a DM from Jess. She had us paused, apparently. Where are they? Paused.
I've done that before where I'm like, man, this is the longest sprint ever. And then I jump over and I go, oh, nah, well, it was the longest sprint ever for me.
Or it's like because I left it muted on accident. especially
Yeah.
during the write-a-thon when I was dual tabbing. If you guys do that, remember, be very careful about which chat you talk in, because I have the pop-up chats over here and then the streams and then accidentally comment in the wrong one.
Yeah, and if the topic is way like dark realms of author dealings, it kind of jars the other chat.
Like one of the chats that I did, I was like, oh, well, you've been streaming for this long and this is the sprint that you need to get in. And then I hear the host going like, yeah, I don't know. And like they're trying to math and figure it out. And it's like, I just told you. And then I'm looking over and I'm like, oh, no, I didn't. I told the other chat. Hold on, let me fix that. And it's like, I can't edit my comments. But it's fine.
Like, I want to be able to like in Discord where you edit a comment and it says edited. I don't mind it being known that I edited, but let me save you the number of messages I send to fix my mistypes and misspellings. And
I look at it this way. If it's gonna forever tell you I removed a comment, it should forever tell you I edited my comment. All right, why?
Yeah.
Why is this here? Because now people are thinking I did something shady, but really I just fucked up a typo and I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, but we should go ahead and wrap up because today we were supposed to go for 2 hours and I'm starting to not feel as good again. Chronic illness. But yes, so we do the switcheroo. Sarah, you get to say your outro.
Hello, or goodbye, even. I'm Sarah Cahill. Procrastination is my superpower. You can find me down in the links below. I have AuthorTube channel, which is where I post most of my content about my writing progress when there is some. So yeah, thank you very much for having me. I had so much fun. I got some writing done, which is a big plus in my book.
I am Natalie Locke.
Natalie, with the fun t-shirt. I keep meaning to say I love the t-shirt,
it says,
by the way.
My mother got it for me. It says, hopefully y'all can read it because I can't go backwards here.
Noun, a bug in a mug, a hug in a mug.
Love it.
Hopefully not a bug, though that would be protein. And protein's good to help you keep you going throughout the day.
Yes.
Natalie Locke, links down below. Even though I didn't get writing done per se, I did get admin stuff done, and I'm starting to feel controlled chaos all the same, but I know where the ends of the chaos is. And I have so much more to learn, young Padawan. Does anybody want to be my mentor, please? Who knows where
Depends on what we're learning. And I am writing mom Samantha Nasset. On my channel, I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer parent things. And on this channel, I help organize and host the Worldwide Writeathon, which, again, we're looking for monitors. So if you're interested in potentially being a monitor, please apply down below because we need people in all time zones, but especially non-American ones. If you would like to see more live streams kind of like this, I do live streams on my channels on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and sometimes we do productivity sprints. Sometimes we talk about whatever I want to talk about. Like at the end of this month, we will be talking about the 1999 movie The Mummy. Nope, Ghostbusters is next month. He's very excited about the Ghostbusters. If you would like to see a sample of my writing, go to my website, SamanthaLNasset.com, where I have a spooky flash fiction up. And I will hopefully be having another short story up, my murder story, All That Glitters. So if you want to be among the first to read that, sign up to my newsletter while you're there. And yeah, like, subscribe. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see y'all around. Bye. Feel with emotion, follow the signs. With this devotion, you will be all mine. I'm pulling you